You want to watch it tonight? What are we gonna watch? El Camino Christmas? Sounds like fun. Anything with Tim Allen I love.
She's about to fall into traffic. Kind of worried.
She just keeps leaning.
Like the world is tilting on its axis.
Are you worried for her life?
Yeah.
So I stopped by Target on my way back from my interview this morning, and I haven't had Dove chocolate in, I feel like, years. But their milk chocolate ones are always really good. And then I picked up some more milk chocolate M&Ms. And then more of these Christmas-themed frosted sugar cookies. Those are so good. And I have those with ice cream. And I put that in my ice cream. It's another incredibly windy and rainy Seattle day. When I walked out to walk to my interview, it was like sideways rain, and I was like, why did I move here again? Fuck my life. And speaking of interviews, the interviews just keep getting weirder or more awkward. I mean, so obviously if I get this job, which to be honest, if I get this job, I don't know if I'm gonna take this job. My bachelor's degree is in legal studies, so I thought maybe it would be good for me to get some experience in a legal office, in a law office, just to see if I like the legal field, and, you know, maybe I would want to stick with it or whatever. I mean, I thought I would give it a shot. So I interviewed at this place, and I walk in, and there's already somebody sitting in the conference room, and I had this like terrible feeling that I was gonna be like interviewed with other people, like not a committee of people, but like that they scheduled multiple people to interview at the same time. So I walk in, and the girl looks like terrified, and I'm like, I assume that she's also there for an interview. Then I think, well, maybe they're just corralling us in here and we're gonna be going to a different room to interview. No, such luck. So I'm sitting in there with her, and then the one woman, we were interviewed by a man and a woman. The woman is also a paralegal, but she's been doing it for over a decade, and she's a case manager. And the man is the lawyer. So the woman is talking to us first kind of about the position while we're waiting on a third person who I guess was also supposed to be there at 10, but she was like 15 to 20 minutes late. I guess because of traffic or whatever, but like that did not look good for her. So we're talking, and then she finally gets here, and then the third interviewee gets there. And then shortly after, the lawyer comes in. And so he starts asking us where we all live and everything, and I'm like, well, I'm just a 10-minute walk from here. And then, oh my God, this thing keeps losing. It's looking real sad. It keeps losing its damn leaves. It's like, take me back to Florida where I can have sun and grow. I don't know, fig tree. Sometimes I wonder why I came here with this weather. It is frigid. Fucking frigid. There is cat poop on my blanket because Mocha is having digestive issues, so I had to remove those so that I can wash them, and I'm going to wash everything because like this is my life. My life is just cat shit everywhere all the time. They were just licking each other and being sweet. The other two applicants live. There is this huge crane, and it was moving, and it's freaking me out. It literally looked like it was like moving towards my window. Or maybe it's just swaying in the wind, I don't know. Anyway, so the other two girls live quite a ways from the law firm, which is a check in my box. That's great because I'm a 10-minute walk. So then he goes around, he's like, what did you all go to school for? What are your degrees in? All these things. One of the girls was like social science, like social work, I think. And then the other, anthropology, I think. And then the other girl was political science, and then I'm legal studies. So, and then he asked people like, why did you get those degrees? Why are you interested in being a paralegal? And, I just basically said I would like to kind of check out the field and see what it's like to work in the legal field, just because that's what my degree is in, so kind of makes sense. And then he started quizzing me because my degree, well, he's like, what is a degree in legal studies? And I'm like, it's just a broad overview of the law. And he's like, okay, but what is that? And I said, well, I just got my degree in May, so it's been a minute since I've looked at any legal studies stuff. But then I said, okay, for example, one of the last classes I took, which was like my capstone class, was legal advocacy, which is just a lot of legal writing. And he's like, all right, what is a plaintiff? And I was like, that's in civil law, right? And I was like, it's the person who brings the lawsuit, right? I mean, I guess I should have expected to be asked questions like that, but it was just kind of, I haven't thought about it in a while. So I was like, plaintiff. Because it's usually, in civil law, it's like the plaintiff and the respondent. And then he was like, what's a motion in limine? Which I was like, it's to keep evidence out, right? It's to keep something out at trial. And he's like, all right, what's the, he pronounced it Dobert. And I was like, Dobert. And then he spelled it. I said, oh, Daubert, or whatever, test. And, which is like the standard that scientific evidence is held to or whatever. It's supposed to be tried and true, like accepted in the scientific community as truth. And then he said something else. And he was like, didn't you hear about that lawyer that Trump is supposed to be trying to get to be a judge, who had never tried a case in court before? And they were asking him what those terms meant, and he didn't know. So he was like, so you would make a better judge than that lawyer would, because you knew what those things meant. I was like, okay, great. And then he gets to one of the other women, asks her some question, because I thought I was at a disadvantage because both of the other women had paralegal experience, which I've never been a paralegal before. And he asked one of them a question about, like, I think this was back when he was asking her a question on getting a degree in anthropology and why she was interested in it, because I think she also had a certificate in paralegal certificate. So she started to answer his question, and then he like rudely was like, and I don't remember his exact words. I think his exact words were a bit harsher than mine. It was like, I can barely hear you. You're really soft-spoken. It comes off that you're very timid and insecure. And I was like, damn, I am uncomfortable. He was like, if you're going to be answering phone calls and all these things, he's like, they're not going to be able to hear you. And, he's like, you need to speak up. And then I could tell, I think she was a bit younger than me, I'm not sure, but like she definitely was very like soft-spoken and kind of meek, but he's like, maybe that's just who you are as a person. I was like, oh, fuck. She looked like she wanted to cry. She looked like she was freaking out. And so I'm just sitting there and I'm just like, oh my God, like this asshole. So what else? I just felt like it was a clusterfuck. I mean, I don't know how common group interviews are like that, but I just kind of feel like, okay, clearly this is a very important man, and his time is so valuable that he's got to herd us in here like cattle and interview us and put us on the spot. And that's one of the things he said. He was like, part of this is just to see like how you do it under pressure and how you talk in groups. And I was just like, I feel like those are really the highlights. And then he said to the woman that he was interviewing us with, he's like, can I see you outside? And he's like, okay, while we're outside, if everybody will just put your salary requirements and when you can start work on your respective resumes. And then he comes back in after a while and he's like, okay, well, thanks for meeting with us. We have more interviews to conduct, blah, blah, blah. And then before that, like, and all this stuff is coming to me, like, as I'm reflecting on it, so I'm kind of going out of order. And then when he first started looking at the resumes, he was like, why do people do dates like this? And I was like, what? And I guess it was their system, or it was Indeed's system, because it was dated like 2016 May 1st or whatever. And I was like, well, I don't do my dates like that. I don't know why it's like that. I guess it was Indeed's system for when I was putting in my work history, because I think on my resume I literally just I spell out the month and then I put the year. So I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's funny because before he even came in, the woman was like, oh, like he's so generous and the office atmosphere is so great. It's not like other law offices. Other law offices are just so unpleasant. And I thought, well, damn, like maybe I shouldn't be applying to law offices because it sounds terrible. She's like, he can come across as kind of hard, but, he's such a generous man. I'm just like, okay. But when he came in, like, he just presented himself like such an arrogant man, and he was it just rubbed me the wrong way. And I just feel like if I were to even be offered the job, like I wouldn't want to take it. And Danny was like, when you go to interviews, definitely it's as much you interviewing them as it is them interviewing you, because you have to want to work there. And like, we're not at a point where we're so desperate that you need a job, like, we're all right, like, I can support us just fine. So I feel like it's good that I have that luxury because I really just didn't get good vibes. And I don't want to start a job just to quit a job. And I don't know, like, the two other women, like I said, there were 3 women being interviewed, including me. They looked terrified, like they were gonna shit their pants. I was just like annoyed and put off, and I just can't stand people that aren't respectful. It's like, okay, I'm not the biggest people person in the world. However, I do feel like, okay, if you want respect, you need to give respect. And nobody is ever, above being a decent human being. You're never too educated. You're never too rich to just... Cat! It's just decency. And I just kind of feel like people that have a lot of money or education think that they can tell people how it is and how they should be, and be demeaning, or what's the word, like, patronizing. It's just, I don't know. I don't know if there's a job for me in Seattle. I guess it remains to be seen, but it's really disheartening. Christmas is in a week, so maybe I'll have better luck of finding a job that I like after the first of the year. So, oh my God. Okay, yeah. See, like I said, things are coming to me out of order. One of the first things before the lawyer came in there, the woman that was interviewing us, who's the case manager that position that I was interviewing for would be assisting. She was like, part of your job is going to be babysitting me. I have ADHD, so part of your job is going to be babysitting me. And I'm just like, I am not signing up to babysit no grown-ass woman. Like, why do you even have the job if you can't do the job? If they have to hire another person to babysit your ass, it's not cute. It's not funny. Oh my God. And also, she was like... She was talking about herself, and she was talking about her work experience or whatever. And then she was saying, yeah, I used to work, I think she was talking about how she used to be an insurance adjuster, and it made her want to get up on the roof with a machine gun and take everybody out. And I was like, we're in a law office, and gun violence is like a huge issue in the United States. Like, what? Oh my God, another awkward thing that happened to that poor girl that he said needed to speak up. She, I guess, wasn't clear when she was explaining something. He was like, wait. He was like, your sentence didn't make any sense. Say it again. And he was like, no, it still doesn't make any sense. Say it again. I was like, oh, you're not getting this job. Initially, before the interview kind of commenced and he and I attempted to annihilate everybody, when I found out that the other 2 girls had paralegal experience, one actually had legal experience in the personal injury, which is, well, I won't say that. She had experience in the field. She had experience in the particular field of law that we were, of the law office that we were interviewing for, with, to, whatever. So I was like, well, what the fuck am I doing here? Like, I have a degree in legal studies, but I don't have paralegal experience, so they're obviously going to get the job. I left there not feeling like that. I left there feeling like he didn't like anybody, but I didn't like him either, so it's cool.
Target is going to have him. Last I checked, I think that they said that they had 1 left, so I may have to drive to a Target.
I just got alerts right as I hit record, and I'm just like... So I think I'm gonna go try... I'm watching a new Graveyard Girl video, Follow Me Around.
A bunch of the Graveyard Curl kit sleeves right now. I came up with this bright idea.
So I'm gonna try this restaurant that it's new to me. It's called Yard House, and it's just like kind of like a Cheesecake Factory, like TGI Fridays, Chili's, like in that vein. My sad little ficus back there. And I'm gonna get I don't think I've ever had a Nashville hot chicken sandwich before. So I'm gonna get one and some fries.
And see that if I can
And it's like 2 blocks over, so I'm gonna go and call my food and get to walk in because
I never succeeded with that mission because my battery died and my memory card ran out of
it looks like it's gonna rain again.
theft going around.
The sky in real life actually looks darker than it appears.
So I just got back from picking up my curry from my usual place. I walk in and they know who I am. They're like, pickup order? I'm like, yeah. And then she's like, all right. And she gives me the total. I'm like, it's for Heather, yellow curry, right? And she's like, bitch, I know who you are. So I decided, since I hadn't been up on the roof in a while, that I would go and check out the view. And it was right around sunset. Well, yeah, sunset. And I was just up there and I was just like, oh my God, like, I'm obsessed with this city. Seattle is the most beautiful place. And it was pretty clear, so I could see Rainier, I could see the Olympics, and I got some video, and some pictures. This is probably just the most beautiful city in the world.